saying, if you are in a gym where everybody is sweating and you can distinguish your own sweat from other people's sweat, there's a problem. You need this video. Hey guys, you are welcome to my channel. It's your girl Rita and I am thrilled to have you here today. If this is your first time on this channel or you've been here before, you all are welcome. And how are you doing? Before we head into today's video, let's talk about money and finances. If you know me, then you know that I am pro financial independence, and literally every economy is dwindling currently. So let's address this. We spend money every single day, but how many of us make money every single day? Right. So that's the purpose for this short clip. I'm going to be giving you 3 passive income ideas that you can leverage on to help you make the most of this dwindling economy. The first one is freelancing. You can literally become a freelancer. Whatever skill you have, you can basically sell it, give the services to someone who needs it, and get paid for it. Now, to succeed as a freelancer, you need to learn some high income paying skills. You learn the skills and then you market yourself correctly to the right people, making the most of it and getting paid for it. Freelancers make a lot of money, I promise you. There are a few platforms that you can leverage on. We have Fiverr, we have Upwork, and when I say learn high income skill, I mean learn high income skills like copywriting, ghostwriting, content writing, name it. There are a ton of them. I'm going to be putting links in the description box, so feel free to make your research, and whichever one suits you the most, choose that, learn it, and then you market yourself. I mentioned 2 platforms, Fiverr and Upwork. For you to get the best clients on Fiverr and Upwork, you need to boost your profile and become one of the top ranking searches. How do you do that? I'm going to put a link in the description box as well. Check that out, optimize your profile, and I wish you the very best. The second method I'm going to be talking about today is affiliate marketing. If you don't know what affiliate marketing is, it's basically marketing someone else's product, either a physical product or a digital product, selling it, and then receiving commission for each sale. Now, you can do this with different platforms, but before you do this, you need to learn what it is. You need to understand how it works so that you can give it your utmost best. I'm going to put a link in the description box as well for that. The third option is for you to partner with an organization that empowers individuals to start up their own businesses. I know one in Nigeria. I am a partner with them, and that's C21FG International. Partnering with this organization means that you're going to be receiving mentorship. They'll hold your hand, help you to start a business, and mentor you through it so that you are successful in that business until you get to your goal. So to do this, I'm going to put a link also in the description box. You indicate your interest. Their selection process is kind of, strict. However, once you're selected to become a partner with them, you are guaranteed to succeed as long as you follow through with your mentorship. And they also have mentors that are international, like Eric Worre, Mark Morris, and the likes. Trust me, this is an amazing one. So if you are especially in Africa and Nigeria, you really want to consider that option. So all these options work for you wherever you are. All you have to do is to lay down, learn it, and then get to work. So whether you're a student or you have a regular job and you're looking for something extra on the side, or you're a stay-at-home mom and you need a source of income, all these methods are fantastic. Fingers crossed it'll work out for you perfectly. I wish you the very best, and I hope that we all can get to a place of financial independence. I look forward to hearing your success story. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. In today's video, I am going to be talking about body odor or smelly sweat. Let's say smelly sweat because they are 2 different things, yo. Right, so smelly sweat, smelly feet. If you are suffering from any of those 2 situations or conditions, I don't even know the right nomenclature to use for it, but you know anybody who is going through it, you want to call them, give them a seat, and have them listen, because this is going to be Now, it's not going to be. This is value packed times 100. So let's get started. So like I earlier said, today we're talking about smelly sweat and smelly feet. Guys, I don't like to classify smelly sweat and body odor into the same category, but they're almost the same thing, right? So the only difference is someone with body odor is just going to be smelling every time, every day. But someone with smelly sweat would smell when they sweat. Now, for someone with smelly sweat, the people around them might not notice, but they would be the first category of persons to tell, because they already know how their sweat smells. Now, everybody's supposed to sweat. But the only thing is that sweat is not supposed to smell. And let me tell you something. It's not something you're doing wrong or not doing or doing. Nah. However, it has been observed that when you work out a lot, then you are prone to smelly sweat. When you sweat naturally, possibly more than others, then you are prone to smelly sweat, right? And then lastly, the foods you eat could make you prone to smelly sweat. And we're talking foods like garlic and a lot of onions and stuff like that. But don't worry, I got you. I'm going to be telling you how to work around it. If you have smelly sweat or smelly feet, we're going to be discussing. I'm going to be telling you the things that you can do to make that go away, because I know it's not fun. It's a terrible thing to actually go through. It's a terrible thing to experience, but I've got you. So let's get into this. I already talked about possible reasons why you might have smelly sweat, but then you need to know that the main cause of that smelly sweat is the bacteria on your skin. Now, you cannot tell which is good or which is bad bacteria, because everybody just has bacteria. Okay, you need to have some certain bacteria on your skin. You are going to have bacteria on your skin at every point in time. There's healthy bacteria and then there's unhealthy bacteria, but literally you need to balance it out, because you cannot get rid of bacteria. However, when you sweat, there's the presence of some unwanted bacteria that when it mixes with your sweat, it can produce a smell. So that's why you have smelly sweat. Remember, I said smelly sweat is different from body odor. Someone with body odor would literally smell every time, but smelly sweat is just when you sweat and then it mixes with that bacteria, then it can lead to smelly sweat. Okay, so there are ways that you can get around this, and I'm going to be mentioning those ways, and I'm going to be mentioning those ways in this video. So if you want to learn more about that, stick around and go nowhere. Before we get into that, if this is your first time on this channel, you are highly welcome. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Check out my other videos, drop your girl a comment, and hit the subscribe icon. Also hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever I have a new video out. Yep. All right, so let's get into this. How can you get rid of smelly sweat? Number one is you have to minimalize the use of creams in your underarms. And I'm talking creams like shaving creams, body creams. Just don't cream it, okay? Stay away from the creaming, right? Because it's not helping. One thing with that is that it lingers. So there are certain bacteria that breathe when that cream literally sits on your skin for a period of time, and then when that mixes with your sweat, that can cause smelly sweat. So when you are not creaming that area, I mean your underarms, you are reducing the presence of that bacteria, and then you are reducing the risk of smelly sweat. You're welcome. The second thing you're going to be doing is that you're going to stop using shaving creams. I did mention the shaving creams in the first part, but this part is very, very important. You need to stop shaving creaming. You need to stop shave creaming. You need to stop creaming shaving. You need to stop cream shaving. Stop using shaving creams and start to use shaving sticks. I know it's like, oh my god, they said we shouldn't use shaving sticks no more. Girl or boy, you got to go back to those shaving sticks, honey, because then you're going to be scraping out layers of that unwanted bacteria, and it keeps that area dry compared to when you use creams or shaving creams. So go back to your shaving sticks, honey, because that's one way to get rid of this problem. Okay, now the other thing you're going to be doing is you're going to ditch your, what do you call them, your deodorant. Stop using deodorants. If you have smelly sweat, just stop. Here's why. We all know, and if you don't know, you are welcome, because I'm about to tell you. Bacteria thrives on wet, damp areas mostly. So when you use deodorants, they are mostly in gel-like forms, because I won't say liquid, it's mostly, you know, like that. But it's oftentimes wet. Right, so when you apply a deodorant, it leaves that area wet for a time period and gives room for bacteria to breed. It might be smelling good, but it's giving room for bacteria to breed. So you have to ditch all of those and go for antiperspirants. Antiperspirants are fantastic for reducing sweat, number one. And then secondly, they are mostly in spray form, so they're mostly dry, not moist, and just completely reducing the risk of having unwanted bacteria in your underarms. This is the one that I use. This is Right Guard. I don't know. I'm going to find links to this and put in the description box if I find, but this has proven to be effective. Not only does it keep me dry when I sweat, like if I have to walk a distance and I sweat, it dries off quickly. Secondly, it has a great smell and it lasts long. I won't say 48 hours, because what you have here is 48 hours. I don't know what 48 hours mean to these manufacturers, but it does the job. Now, it's not just about using an antiperspirant, but there is going to be a way that you're going to use it. You have to make certain lifestyle changes to get the most of this. First, you're going to be using, why did I do that? First, so first, I don't even know what works, but first, you have to use the antiperspirant mostly at night. Because when you use an antiperspirant at night, it gives it room to work through the night, so you then reap the benefits during the day. Doesn't mean that you're not going to use it during the day. I mean, I apply it at night before I go to bed, and then in the morning when I wake up and take a shower, I still use my antiperspirant. So, but you're giving it ample time to work in a way that while you're asleep, it's working on your skin to make sure it reduces the occurrence of sweat, and then when you're walking through the day, because it has worked during the night to reduce the occurrence of sweat, you're not going to sweat as much as you usually do. And even if you do sweat, because you have used that antiperspirant that smells good, your sweat is not going to be smelly. It's going to be smelling like the antiperspirant you just used. So you want to get a good antiperspirant. I'm telling you guys, this works for me. So the first thing is washing. While you're washing your underarms, I know we like to use regular soaps, but if you have that smelly sweat problem, you need to ditch that regular soap. And let me tell you the alternative, what you're going to be using. It's not the alternative, it's what you're going to be using, okay? Ta-da! This is benzoyl peroxide. Now, if you've been on my channel, you know that I use benzoyl peroxide as a facial wash, oil mask, and I use 2.5, 2.4, 2%. I've never had to use 10%, but this is benzoyl peroxide 10%. That means olegan and gonna be effective. Yes, this is an acne treatment. However, what this does is that it gets rid of the bacteria that lays on your skin that then give room for acne to develop, and then it's problematic and all of that unwanted occurrences. And it does the same for your underarms. So if you have that issue of smelly sweat, you really want to get this and use on your underarms. Now, I typically started using this every day, morning, night for about 3 days. I reduced the use to just nightly for about another 3 days, and then I almost completely stopped using it. Now I just use once in a while. Remember, your skin needs bacteria to be healthy. You just want to get rid of the unwanted ones. So you don't want to overdo it and get rid of the normal flora that is supposed to be on the surface of your skin, and then your skin is dry and then your skin is irritated. You don't want to go through that. So you really want to do, if you have very sensitive skin, I would recommend you start using nightly, and then you can reduce the frequency of use. But if you have a tough skin like some of us, then you might want to, or you can use twice a day for like 2 to 3 days, and then tone it down until you are using like once or twice a week. So yes, that is what you have to do when it comes to washing that area. I talked of lifestyle changes that you have to make. I talked of using a shaving stick instead of shaving creams. I talked of other fantastic things that you have to do. Now, the last thing you're going to do is your clothing, because like it or not, some of that bacteria have already relocated and they're now on the surface of your clothing. We don't want to hear that, but that's the fact. It happens. So what you're going to do is you're going to get those clothes, the clothes that you've been wearing, literally all your clothes. You're going to get them. You're going to soak them in a disinfectant. I typically use Dettol. I mean, goes without saying, right? So you want to put a good amount in some water and soak those clothing in there before you wash. When you take clothes out of your body, when you take off your clothes, you also want to disinfect while you're washing. Just disinfect. If they're white clothing, then you can use a bleach or whatever. Just disinfect and you're good to go. So yes, those tips will literally help you to sweat but not perceive the sweat, if you know what I'm saying. Now, one thing I'm going to say is you really have to be nice to the people around you, especially if someone asks you and goes, I feel like I smell like sweat. Do I smell like sweat? Be honest with them. Don't be like, oh no girl, you're good. No, please just be honest, because it is not a fun thing to have to go through. Yeah, I can relate. And if you know someone with body odor, I don't know how they can get rid of that body odor, because I don't know if they come back with all of this, like use all of this all over their body. I don't know, but they will need to research that, because mine just ends here. But I feel like I might get into it someday. I don't know, for the benefit of those who are experiencing it. And I'm really sorry because it's so painful, but well, you might want to borrow some of these tips and see if it works for you. You're welcome. All right, so moving on, let's talk about sweaty feet. Even if you do not suffer smelly sweat, you might have sweaty feet, because the two don't go hand in hand. They don't go in tandem. However, if you are prone to smelly sweat, or if you suffer smelly sweat, you might likely have smelly feet or sweaty feet. Either way, we're talking about sweaty feet. Yeah, we're talking about sweaty feet. Now, if you have sweaty feet and they smell when you start to sweat, especially when you're wearing like covered shoes and stuff, and then you start to have smelly feet, you need this video. So if you're prone to sweat, then you likely are sweating in your feet. And if you're sweating in your feet and you wear a lot of covered shoes, then you have smelly feet. It's the same thing. It's that unwanted bacteria, blah, 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 blah. Yep. Sometimes some people feel like you need to wear stockings to make you feel better. That works because it absorbs the sweat, compared to when your shoes absorb the sweat because it has no other place to go. So the sweat just literally stays in your shoes, and then bacteria gets in there, and then it starts to smell, and then it's very unpleasant, and you have to wear your shoes because you're not going to throw those shoes away, and every time you wear them they're just smelly. You can't get your feet out of your shoes. If you are going through that, honey, I got you. I said it before, I got you, okay? So yes, I also experienced that. I mean, you can use socks because, like I said, the socks would absorb the sweat, and then you can change the socks at the end of the day or in the middle of the day if you feel comfortable walking about with socks in your bags. I do not, but you can use socks. You can wear socks if it makes you feel any better. However, the most effective way to do this is to spray your shoes with the secret I'm about to show you. Spray your shoes with them. After every use of your shoes, you want to clean them. Not necessarily wet, depends on the kind of shoes, but you want to clean them. And then when you clean, you spray the inner parts of your shoe with this mixture. Don't worry, I'm going to tell you what's in this. And you also want to spray your feet with this. Typically, if you soak your feet in this mixture, it works. But I feel like you might not want to get into soaking your feet every single day. That's a lot. So this can help you, but you just spray just like that. You spray your feet and then spray your shoes and let your shoes dry, and you can leave this in your feet for as long as you want. It just gets rid of that unwanted smell. And yeah, this mixture, as you can see, I have cloves in there, but the cloves, they're not for this purpose. Honestly, I made this mixture for my face. If you've been on my channel, then you know that I am all about getting rid of acne because I went through terrible acne. But you can see my face, it's a long way from what it used to be. I'm not saying it's thanks to this guy. I made this guy for my face, but I never got to use it. The last experience I did for my face was the onion juice, which I think I have already uploaded the video by now. So I wanted to do an experiment with this. I never got to, because I'm not ready to, like, my face is okay. I'm not ready to risk it all for a new mixture. But this was supposed to be for my face, and that's why the cloves are in there. Now this is half portion water and half portion apple cider vinegar. Like I said, was supposed to be for my face, but then I changed my mind. So now I just use it for my shoes and my feet to alleviate that smelly feet, smelly shoes, sweaty feet syndrome. So I use this. I still have sweaty feet, but they just don't smell anymore and I still wear socks when I can, because I don't remember always, but I try. So this is just a way to get rid of that stench that comes with a sweaty feet, right? So this is the solution that works. That's it for this video. I think I have given so much value. So if you know somebody that has any of these conditions, kindly share this video with them. Kindly recommend this video to them. Kindly pass the information you have gotten from this video to them to help them. Some people will not even know that they have smelly feet, or when they remove their feet from their shoes it smells, or that they smell like sweat. And the smell could vary. It could be citrusy, it could be salty, it could be sulfuric, it could be metallic, it could literally have any smell. But any smell that is associated with your sweat needs to be taken care of, and any smell that is associated with you removing your shoes from your feet needs to be taken care of. And these are simple, less costly ways you can do that. And that's it for me. So thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you haven't, and you can hit the subscribe icon and hit the bell icon so that you're notified whenever I have a new video up. You can also check out my other videos and drop your girl a comment. You know how I do it, yeah. And tell me what else you'd like to see on this channel so that I can get right on it. This is typically a hair channel, but as you can see, I'm wearing a wig today because girl protective style is important. So yeah, I do a lot of protective styling, especially wearing wigs. I wear a lot of wigs. One time I braided my hair, I wanted to faint. If you're not following me on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok. See my goofy side, see, you know, little content that I create on the side that I don't remember to put on YouTube or that is available on TikTok. And yep, you can also check out my business page. It's all linked to my Instagram page. Just check me out on social media, y'all. It's been a pleasure making this video with you. Thank you so much, and do enjoy the rest of your day. See you in my next video. Until then, I remain Rita Ralph, and you remain colorfully blessed. Bye.